Hello, race fans, and welcome to the Salina Speedway on our 14th night of this 2002 racing season. I'm Jerry Jones, your host of the program, and also the voice of the Salina Speedway. Glad to be here for another great night of racing, and of course another special feature night here at the Salina Speedway. Not only do we have our 5 regular divisions, we also add in the tours, the Topless Outlaw Racing Association out of Wichita under the direction of Mr. Lonnie Smith, and they're here tonight to perform for you on their 3rd time on this 2002 season. Also talking to more of our race drivers down here, want to get some up-close and personal interviews with them so that you can meet and greet all the guys that drive out here, or the biggest share of them anyway. We've got one right beside me right now, very interesting gentleman. He drives the car right behind me, the number 99. He's out of Galva, Kansas, Mr. Jerry Phillips. And Jerry, what an interesting conversation, short conversation that you and I have had already. But tell us about your beginning in racing and here at the Salina Speedway.
Well, about 25 years ago, I started out here in a street stock with Roger Colgan. His boys running a B-Mod right now, and the first time we ever come here, they said, don't go off the back straightaway, and that's the first place I went. So that was my beginning of my career right there.
Your beginning of your career was not really illustrious, but I'll tell you what, it has been since, because you own the most championships out here at the Salina Speedway, and I believe, if my information is correct, 16 championships in all that time here, but it's only been over a variety of different divisions of cars that you've raced, including the modifieds, including some of the other divisions out here, plus IMCA sprint cars, and I didn't know that they had those here.
Yeah, that's NCRA 360 sprint cars. Actually originally started as an IMCA sprint car, and C-Ray picked them up, and they had a spec tire and a engine claim just like the modifieds. And actually, we won a feature out here and a points championship here.
Well, I'll tell you what, you really had a great career, and you're doing great so far on this season. You picked up a feature win. You also have 4 top 5s. You have 4 heat race wins to go along with that, running up there in that top group all the time. Your thoughts about this year's racing on 2002?
Oh, yeah, we just really love coming here. The fans are awesome. Like I said, we missed last weekend. We went to Colby and Nebraska and had a kind of little disappointing deal there. We ran 30 laps leading it in a 40-lapper for 5,000 to win and had the right rear go flat. So we had lots of ups and some downs, but I guess we got lucky at it. We led 30 of them.
That's exactly right, and I guess that's what racing is all about. You never know what's going to happen. It's really a surprise every time you step out on track. Jerry, I could talk to you all day, and we could find out a lot of information about you and about your racing career and about Salina. Maybe we'll have another opportunity to do that, but thanks for the interview here.
You bet. Thanks a lot, Jerry.
All right, Jerry Phillips, he drives the number 99 out of Galva, Kansas. Be watching for him tonight on our 14th night of racing here at the Salina Speedway on 2002. Back in just a moment. Well, we're back down here in the pits, and again, some more interviews with our drivers here at the Salina Speedway on this 2002 year. And the gentleman standing right beside me, boy, he had a special week last Saturday on our 13th night of racing here on this 2002 season. Mr. Dustin Huehl, he's out of Bennington, Kansas. He drives the number 94, and he got his first feature win last Saturday. Boy, I tell you what, it was a great night for the Danny Hill Racing team, though, because you was a winner on that feature night, but also your teammate, Scotty Phillips, was the runner-up, and he really pushed you hard. But your thoughts about last week and that first win?
It felt pretty good. I knew Scott had a faster car, though, but I just squeezed down low there, and we pulled her off.
Well, you really did. You know, my recollection from last year and some of the difficulty and the handling problems that you had with your car last year, and the difference from then to this year is just like night and day. It's just totally different how the car handles for you.
Yeah, it's a whole different setup. We're starting to get the hang of it. This is a brand new car. This car that I'm driving, that I drove last weekend, it's on its 4th week. But it's the same car that I had at Belleville, but I just had a bad incident up at Belleville and totaled that one out. But this one here is working pretty good for us.
Boy, it is, and it worked extremely well for you last week, and you got out there and you held off the charge by your teammates and a lot of other people as well. But something different for you tonight, you're going to be driving a late model car, one of the Tourer group, and it's going to be one of the cars that your dad has built, and you've been involved with that, but your first time racing on this year in that car.
Yeah, we raced it once last year here, and this is the first time out this season here, and we did some different changes that we had problems with last year, and that's a whole different ball game, but we'll give her a shot tonight, I guess.
You know, I was going to ask you that. I mean, you drive the modified most of all, but being in that car, is there one that you have a preference for?
Yeah, that'd be the late model. I'm trying to work the old man and talking me in, or getting him talked into racing the modified or the late model full time next year. And I don't know what we'll do about the modified, but every now and then. But out of the two, I'd rather go with late model.
And what would you do? Would you try to race for points on the NCRA circuit, or would you follow the tours around?
Oh, probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both. I think we're probably just going to end up staying here for the rest of the season with the modified. I know here a couple weeks ago I was running the NCRA, but I like to get this track figured out again. It's been a while since I've raced here.
Well, we'll see how that works tonight. I know it was good last week for you in the win, and it really turned out nice. It really has been really a good track all season long. It's been dry and slick, dry and fast, and that's just been the weather conditions that allowed for that. Should be that again. Dustin, thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Huehl drives the number 94. He'll be in the modifieds. He'll also be in the late model tour tonight, so watch for him. The number 94 out of Bennington, Kansas, Mr. Dustin Huehl. Well, we're back down here in the pits on this 2002 racing season on our 14th night, and talking to more of our drivers. And right now we step over to the hobby stock division and talk to a gentleman out of Lynn, Kansas. And right now you're locked up in a three-way tie for the points lead right now with Scott Granzella and Josh McCarroll. The gentleman I'm talking to drives the number 32, and it's Mr. Ryan Ohlde. And Ryan, your thoughts about this season and locked up in that big tie right now?
It's a good thing to have it locked up like that. People like to see that, and I'm pretty excited about it, too. Hopefully it stays that way to the last race.
It is, and you had a good year last year as well. How many years have you been coming out here to Salina race?
I've been out here 2 years now. This will be my second season.
Good season for you last year, and now trying to come back here again and really locked in a good points battle. Have you been in the hobby stocks all your racing time?
Yeah, we started with cruisers probably 4 or 5 years ago, but I got into this class pretty quickly because...
Do you like this better?
Yeah, I like this a lot better.
Any thoughts of moving up at any time, anything else?
Sometime I'd like to move up. I don't know for sure yet, but...
What it would be, whether it be super stock, modified, or something?
That's what I'm undecided about yet. I like the super stock class, but I think I'd rather have a modified, so...
Tell us real quickly about an accident that you had earlier on in this season, and you were rolled right up there close to the wall on the main stretch down there, and here comes Tony Slothauer. Didn't see you, and it was really dark, and really slammed into you. Tell us about that feeling.
That was a crazy night. I don't want to ever have to go through that again. It was definitely not his fault, but, he didn't see me, and it was just one of them racing deals, and I hope it never happens again because it was rough.
I'll bet that was a scary feeling sitting there watching him come at you like that.
It was very scary. I mean, I thought it was all okay. A few seconds went by, and next time I looked around, looked up, and here he come right at me, and there was just nothing you could do. You're just sitting there, so.
Well, boy, I tell you what, you really had a lot of success so far on the season. You picked up the feature wins, 4 feature wins actually, and you got 8 top 5s, and really setting pretty good right now. Your thoughts about what it's going to take?
Finishing every race the best I can do, and last week it was 6th, and that was the best I could do, and the guys I needed to beat were behind me, so we stayed right where we're at.
Like in the track situation this year, how it sets up?
Here lately it's been too dry for me, but I won 2 weeks ago, and it was wet on the bottom yet, and that's the way I like to have it. So hopefully it'll stay wet tonight, and we can get another win in.
Ron, good luck tonight, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, drives the number 32. He's out of Lynn, Kansas, Mr. Ryan Ohlde. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, race fans, we're back down here at the pits, down on the infield, and of course giving you an opportunity to meet some more of our drivers up close and personal and find out some good things about them and about their racing career and where they're from and what's going on in their racing career on 2002. This being our 14th night, I'm Jerry Jones, your host of the program. Standing beside me right now is Mr. Kenny Fuller. He's right here out of Salina and drives the number 28 in the super stock division, sitting down there in number 14 in the points on this 2002 year. But Kenny, let's talk about your racing career. And it started, I guess, about 12 years ago in a variety of different divisions, didn't it?
Yes, when I started racing out here, they had cars that was called thumpers, and you couldn't do much to them, the little skinny tires and stuff. And that class progressed up, more motors, more tires, better wheels, and it turned into a pro stock class. And then the pro stocks, they progressed into a late model sportsman class, and then of course Chuck killed those, so we moved back to the super stock to race again. This is my last year for super stock. We got a new modified in the process. We're going to really concentrate trying to get it done in this year, yeah.
Well, that's going to be exciting to see that. How have you enjoyed, though, the heavier cars like the super stocks and driving those?
I don't enjoy it. That's why I'm changing. The old Pro Stalkers were 2,800-pound cars. They handled well. They reacted well. These cars here, you got to use a slide rule on them, and you don't know how far they're going to slide in the corner, and they're just not any fun to drive. You ain't got enough brakes to get them slowed down. The other trouble with the heavy car is when you get hit, it tears things up so bad. We've been 4 weeks now putting the car back together from the last wreck, so.
It was kind of a tough wreck for you here about that last 4 weeks ago. Talk about your success on this season. You're sitting down at number 14 in points, have not picked up a feature win yet, and top fives have kind of eluded you to this point, but talk about your success on this season thus far.
Well, you know, we haven't been here a whole lot, you know, so that's why the points ain't there. You got to be here, you got to be consistent to be up in the points. I don't worry a whole lot about the points. You can't sell them, you can't trade them. You get a $12 trophy at the end of the year. Points is nothing. It don't mean nothing.
You're just a race driver, and you love to race, don't you?
That's right, yeah. My boys over here that help me with the race car, you know, we just have a blast doing it, and we don't care where the standings are. We know where we are anyhow, so.
You and I are kind of on the same wavelength. I'm just a racing announcer that just loves racing. I could go every night somewhere and really enjoy it, and love to have the opportunity to talk to you guys that really do the job out here on the track. But Kenny, really appreciate you talking to us right here out of Salina, Kansas, driving the number 28. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kenny Fuller. Welcome back to more of our interviews down here on the infield pit, and standing right beside me and beside the brand new painted car, the 64X, and the hobby stocks, none other than Mr. Brian Weinhold. We call him Mr. Confidence because one night he predicted his win out here, and by golly, if he didn't go ahead and do that, you've got 2 feature wins on the 2002 year, plus that you've got 5 top fives, 6 heat race wins on this year, and really doing quite well. You're standing number 9 in the points right now, but your thoughts about this racing season?
Oh, had a lot of trouble towards the beginning of the year and had to build a new car in a week, and it's kind of been up and down like a roller coaster ride, but it's fun.
Well, it certainly has been. Talk about this. You just got the car painted this week. Did you do that yourself? You've been running around with this old blue car and the duct tape 64X on there. Did you do the painting job yourself?
No, my sponsor, Smoky Huehl Auto Body from Wilson, he painted it for me and got the stickers on the other night, and we're ready to go.
Tried to confuse me there for the first couple of weeks, and I didn't know who in the world that was right off the bat, and then finally we got it figured out, but nevertheless, now I'm going to know for sure with the color of the car, and of course, let's see what happens here tonight. Brian, tell us about your racing career. How long have you been racing? How long have you been in the IMCA Hobby Stock?
Well, I raced cruisers 2 years ago, and I ran Hobby Stock last year and Hobby Stock this year. I ran a little street stock down in Hutch last year and didn't like that, so I come back to Hobby Stock.
You really enjoy the Hobby Stocks? Anything you're thinking about in the future maybe you're moving up to?
Maybe street stock, but right now Hobby Stock. That street stock's too expensive.
And of course you talk about the modified, and that's really expensive up there, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Hey, Brian, talk about this track. It seems like that the track for you on this year at times when it's been the drive fast or dry slick track you want to talk about really has been successful for you. But you still have some power to go down inside and get around the guys on the turns. What's your thoughts? What track do you like better?
Oh, I've had a lot of experience racing on a dry slick track. I go out to Waukene, and it's always dry slick out there. So I've just a lot of experience on it. That's why, I guess.
Well, it certainly has been to your benefit this year, winning a couple of feature races, and of course those 5 top fives, and trying to work yourself up in the points. So looks like that it could happen some more in the season. The season's coming down to the close here. We've only got 8 dates left. Of course, 6 of those that are going to qualify for the points championship, and that closes on the 14th. But Brian, thanks for the interview. Appreciate that, and good luck tonight, rest of the season.
All right, thank you.
Driving number 64X, he's out of Wilson, Kansas. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Weinhold. More interviews here on Access Television. Again, Jerry Jones, your host of the program, also the voice of the Salina Speedway. And down here with a young man that's really come on strong here on his 2002 year thus far. None other than the gentleman out of Salina, Mr. Dustin Forsberg. He drives the number 21 right behind us here in the IMCA Modifieds, a guy that has already picked up 2 feature wins, and he also has 3 top fives to go along with that. But Dustin, you come out of the cruisers last year and years previous to that and jumped into the IMCA Modified. What do you attribute your success to this year?
Probably most of the success is from all the help I've got, a lot of it. My brother mostly, and my dad, grandparents. That helps a lot when you have a lot of help at home.
Well, that you certainly have, but I'll tell you what, you seem to be so comfortable in this car and the way that you drive. I know that the times that I've interviewed you before, after the races, and you talk about, well, I've been sitting on the front row. Well, yes, you have, but yet you've been able to hold off the charges by a lot of people. I'll tell you what, you've really done an excellent job with that. You've had some really hot drivers sitting beside you and behind you trying to get around. Your thoughts about that and how you've been able to hold them off?
I just keep the car straight and keep the momentum up, and it's kind of hard to pass when everyone's about equal in the class. So just keep it straight, keep it fast, and that's all you got to do, I guess.
Well, you've been doing that very well, but is there a particular line that you like to run? It seems like sometimes you like that little higher line of the groove in there, or sometimes you'll go down low, but is there any particular line that you really favor most?
Wherever everyone else isn't running, I'll try that. But usually the high line works the best for my car, so I stick it there.
Well, it certainly does look like it works the best for you, and I'll tell you what, you're usually running, when you're out front, you're running where nobody else is at, and you've done that to pick up a couple of feature wins. Your thoughts about tonight here on the 14th night of racing, and how you think it's going to be tonight, how you think the track might be?
I don't know. I don't really care so much about the track. Whatever, just a place to race, but if it's dry slick, I'll do all right. If it's tacky, then I might have some troubles. I don't know.
You feel like you have a better opportunity with a dry slick track rather than a tacky track where you got to have more power?
Yeah, I can't really afford more power, so we'll stick to the dry slick.
Any thoughts of moving up in the future after you get more comfortable with the IMCA hobbies? Thoughts about moving up to some other division out here in Salina or anywhere else?
I want to get through college before I think about any of that.
And where are you in college? What year are you?
I'm a sophomore. I'm going to K-State.
Oh, you're a Wildcat, huh? My heaven, I can't believe it. A Sooner interviewing a Wildcat. Ladies and gentlemen, he's got a couple of feature wins. He's probably going to have a lot more before the year's over with. He drives the number 21 in the IMCA Hobbies, none other than Mr. Dustin Forsberg.